Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and this is News and Week in Review, where we go through a variety of news pieces, the sometimes topic of the week, not this week, of course the games I played, and the videos of the week. Let's go ahead and dive into it with all the links and timestamps to everything down below. And also, I think I missed some links or timestamps. No, timestamps I did. I think I missed some links last week. Whenever I post links in these videos, I never know how often they're actually used or not. Like whether it's to back or not to back, whether it's a sponsorship link, whatever it is, I never really know how often these links are utilized, and so I'm always curious, but because sometimes I'll miss a few, and I guess it depends on the video, but I didn't get any comments, so all that work I put in every week for nothing. Maybe. I don't know. Timestamps, by the way. Timestamps. If I ever miss timestamps, I get a million comments on those. Links, not so much. I still try to do them as much as I can. I do know I have some links. Most links I usually don't bother doing link tracking for, but there are some links I do track, and people do click on the links, just not most of you, and Either way, now we're tangent about links. Let's go ahead and dive into this video. Starting off with our news of the week, and this should be a shorter video. I know I often say it'll be a shorter video, and then 45 minutes later we're done. I don't think so this week, but we'll find out. I never think so. Whenever I say it's a shorter video, I mean it's a shorter video. I'm wrong a lot when it comes to gauging, and I talk fast too. This is with me going a mile a minute. It's still, you can't have it both ways. Whatever. I'm gonna start. I should restart. I'm not going to. Anyways, let's go ahead and start off with, first of all, giveaway winners. Giveaway winners. We have some giveaways from a week and a half ago. Meg did a board game upgrades video, and we have a few giveaway winners from that. Usual reminder before I dive into this that if anyone wants you, it's actually, YouTube's been better with not having all the spam nowadays. For a while, there was spam left, right, and center. YouTube's cracked down on that. But if anyone does reach out to you and wants you to pay them money or reach out to them on, I don't know, Signal or who knows what, don't do it. I will try to comment on your post that you won. You should see that from the regular Board Game Co. Name, use channel name. But most importantly, reach out to me at alex@boardgameco.com if you are a winner. That is the only way I will officially communicate. And if you are an international winner, if there's any international shipping charges, that'll be present there. I so far have never really done. I don't think I've ever done charges for domestic. So any shipping charges would only apply for international giveaway winners in general. And again, go through alex@boardgameco.com. Do not go through Signal, WhatsApp, or anything else. Just stay safe out there. Stay safe. Last thing I want to do is do a giveaway and someone gets scammed. That's just not fun for you, me, and, well, I guess YouTube. It's fun for the scammer. Anyways, giveaway winners. We did 2 giveaways. There were some metal bits from Tinkertown Games. They go ahead and they have some metal wingspan bits that were given away. You can win those. Not you can. The person who did win those is Yvette. I'm probably butchering the name. Yvette? Is that how you pronounce it? Rodriguez 4387. So if you're Yvette Rodriguez 4387, you won the Tinkertown bits. Again, I will try to comment on your comment if I remember. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But you have to watch these videos to guarantee that, and email me at alex@boardgameco.com. And then the winner of the Star Wars bits from One Sharp Joe is going to be Blue Shades Able or Blue Shade Sable. I guess that could be that. Blue Shades Able or Blue Shade Sable. One of those two things. You're the one who commented Wampa and got those Star Wars bits. And props to both those people. But props to Tinkertown Games. Props to One Sharp Joe as general supporters of the channel and for giving those giveaways. So that's your giveaway winners. Let's go ahead and dive into the news. Starting off with, it is April 1st. It's not April 1st. It was April 1st. It was April 1st this week, which means it's that day on the internet where you sit there and you think you're sure of yourself and you don't get caught by 97.7% of things, but you do get caught by that one post. And for a surprising amount of people, that post was actually Ticket to Ride, A Moon's Adventure, because of how legitimate this one looks. There are a lot of those typical April Fool's jokes, a surprising amount of dragons, including, by the way, did you guys see Dragon Shuffle? Did you see Dragon Shuffle? I should have pulled it up. I didn't pull it up. Look up Dragon Shuffle. Try to find that one. I want Dragon Shuffle. Forget this Forest Shuffle garbage. I love Forest Shuffle, and I have no interest or patience for it. They should absolutely make Dragon Shuffle. Lookout Spiel, is that who does Forest Shuffle? Can you please do Dragon Shuffle? There's clearly an audience for that game. It reminds me of one of my favorite April Fool's board game jokes ever. Was they had Terraforming Mars, but with Alien, with the Alien, Alien the movie. The idea was you were terraforming Mars, but there were aliens on the planet. It looked amazing. I still want that game to come out. Whatever. In the meantime, can we please get Dragon Shuffle? There'd be no IP issues with that. There were a lot of other dragon-themed announcements or spoilers or all those things. There were a surprising amount of stuff out there. There always is. They're always fun. They're always interesting. And most of them are clearly and obviously April Fool's jokes. Even this one, Ticket to Ride Moon's Adventure. It didn't get me, fortunately, because I saw that it was a 27-day playtime, and of course it's April 1st, and so I'm savvy and I know all about the internet on April 1st. We're going to come back to that. But this one looks like it could be a fun game. I mean, it's not Ticket to Ride, it's, I guess Ticket to Ride if you're Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. Anyways, that's Ticket to Ride Moon's Adventure. If you want to go ahead and check that out, it doesn't exist, so you can't. But it does look like a fun game, and I still want that Dragon Shuffle so badly. The one that did get me, because I was all knowledgeable and savvy in the board game space, every single board game related April Fools, there were a lot of them, by the way, including, check out Shelf Clutter. Shelf Clutter had they started the video this week a little differently than he usually does. But there are lots and lots of April Fools jokes out there. If you missed them, well, I mean, that's the internet for you. But past that, the one that did get me, I started reading an article, and I was a good, like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 paragraphs in before I was like, oh, crud, it's April Fools. And it got me because it wasn't a board game. It showed up in my Google feed, was Palworld Go Open Beta announced for 3 countries. This came across so legitimate, and the problem is, because of the fact that I was, like, all savvy about board games, I was like, Palworld Go, that's both surprising and predictable at the same time. Because it is, indeed, surprising and predictable at the same time. And yet it's also not true. For the record, by the way, I haven't actually verified it's not true. I just got 3 paragraphs in, and I was like, it's April Fools. You're an idiot, Alex. And so I closed the article at that point. But it may actually go into it, I assume. I assume it says something. Does it anyway validate? No. Nope. This doesn't actually... You know what? For all I know, this is legitimate, but I don't imagine it is because it is an April Fool's joke. So, I imagine. I don't know. Anyways, that's basically your April Fool's news. We don't have a ton of stuff just to go over. The thing that got me, the thing that didn't, and of course, Dragon Shuffle. I want that. Moving on to other news, we have Kinfire Dell over here. Not really news in this one, but I did my usual crowdfunding roundup this past week, my upcoming crowdfunding campaigns for April, that is. And a few small notes there. First of all, How to Save a World is bumped to next month, so that's already an update there. And then also, Kinfire Delve is one I missed out on, so you can go ahead and check out that one. So that's just the one I missed that should be launching this month. I'm sure there are others as well. I believe, is Euthia launching this month? I think Euthia is launching next month. I think Euthia is going to be like early May. So that's another one. There's always a few I miss. As usual, regular reminder to subscribe to Shelf Clutter because he'll have those weekly updates for you. We also over here, we have Mythwind, the future of Mythwind. Basically, it's coming to you from Open Owl Studios. They are doing the future of Mythwind, which basically they're talking about how they want to continue to support the game, and not just in their current active crowdfunding campaign, which you can currently go ahead and back, but rather they also talked about how they're going to be having some upcoming expansions coming to you from Nikki Valens, who's done a bunch of games from Arkham Horror, Mansion of Madness, Legacy of Dragonholt. Nikki Valens is going to be doing a character expansion, as well as Daryl Andrews and Jenna Beasley from the Board Game Garden. Daryl Andrews, famous for Sagrada and other games. It's always the other games too, but like Sagrada is his most popular game. And Jenna Beasley, famous from the Board Game Garden, because she hasn't designed any games yet. To the best of my knowledge, she hasn't designed any games yet. But they're going to be designing a character expansion as well. So that's going to be some things coming to you from Mythwind News. Then we have over here, we have a little roundup of Knizia titles coming this year, including Rebirth, which looks amazing. The art on this looks amazing, coming to you from Mighty Boards. Very curious about the game. I believe I will be covering it. I do think it is coming to crowdfunding, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a May 21st Kickstarter launch. And then there's a ton of other, I'll link this down below, but this is basically a roundup of the various Reiner Knizia titles coming out this year, and there are a lot of them. This man does not slow down. There's also At the Office, which looked like At the Coffee for a second. I got excited. There's Ignostic 1984. No idea what that is. Fitz over here. Fitz is an older game. Looks like they're redoing it in some way, shape, or form. Ooh, Fitz over here. Fitz 2. This looks all cool and shiny and Tetrisy and polyomino. Anyways, that's what we have as far as Reiner Knizia. And then lastly, or is it lastly or second lastly? Second lastly, we have another article on Asmodee and Embracer Group. Coming to you from Board Game Wire. This is another breakdown of Asmodee commits to, or Embracer Group commits to Asmodee's future. Basically, Embracer Group, I've talked about some other things, but Embracer Group is a large conglomerate of, like, basically, I don't know the right term for it, but what's it called? Oh my gosh, it's something funding, but there's a term for it. Investor funding? No. There's I can't remember the term. Anyways, what is it? No. I'm blanking on the term when you have, like, angel investors, but not really. There's a term for it. Whatever it is. But anyways, Embracer Group has a bunch of titles under their thing. They've had a lot of things that have not gone as well, but it looks like they're very happy with Asmodee as far as how that's going in their catalog of stuff that they own. VC, Venture Capital. That's what I'm looking for. VC, that's the term I was looking for. Thank you for the 7 of you that commented before I got there. Anyways, that's going to be Asmodee. Just another article talking about how Asmodee is doing well under Embracer Group. And then lastly, we have DC Heroes United, with 8,000 people already following the campaign. This is over on GameFound. There's exclusive stuff for following the campaign, so if you follow it, you get like a metal coin. Actually, I don't know if it's metal. You get a coin. I don't know if it said metal or not. But basically, DC United, it does say metal. Exclusive metal coin, it does say metal. This is DC United. A lot of people have suspected this is coming. I've suspected this is coming for a long time, and sure enough, I think the clincher was once they did DC Zombicide. At that point, I thought it was pretty clear that DC United was in the works. It had to have been. But DC United is coming to your table with Batman and Superman and Joker and I don't know, and Wonder Woman, all the various characters. I assume we'll see the Flash and others. We have some teases of what's coming out already. We'll see more, I'm sure, as the game goes. I am very curious as far as whether there'll be any changes to the game, or whether it'll just maintain the same basic gameplay. So far, the United system has always had some iterative changes every time you got it. Although this one, I don't know if they're going to be maintaining that, but DC United is finally available for all those who, like myself, absolutely believe you don't need this, and probably will get it anyway. I absolutely believe I don't need this, and I probably will get it anyway. That's what we have as far as news of the week. Let's go ahead and dive into the rest of it. Not the topic, because like I said already, we don't have one of those. What we do have is the games I played. So, week in review, starting off with the games I played. Starting off with Terraforming Mars. I got a chance to play Terraforming Mars over on Board Game Arena because they just added Terraforming Mars to Board Game Arena, and so I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good implementation. Not necessarily the best, but I find myself typically on Board Game Arena, so anything that's on Board Game Arena is already better to an extent because I'm there and I'm active and I get those notifications. But I played through a full game. I thought it was a good system. I still like Terraforming Mars best in person, but also I got to play Terraforming Mars, so that's a win-win all around. We have Draft and Write Records from Inside Up Games. Got a chance to play that one a few times this week, actually. I enjoy that one. I don't know whether it's a keeper or not, and my biggest complaint is that they have like these extra card packs that just mix in extra musicians, which I don't find interesting, frankly. Like there's no extra abilities, just like, oh, you have a 4 instead of a 3, and you have this symbol instead of that symbol. It doesn't enhance my gameplay experience. It's just more variety, but you have to take out other cards because you have to keep the balance there. So honestly, I kind of find the extra packs almost annoying and not really helpful. But the game itself, I enjoy Draft and Write Records currently. I like how different it is when you play it. I do want to play it solo. I've heard good things about the solo mode, and I'm curious by that challenge. I don't know if it's a game I would play again solo, but it's one I do want to try solo and see how it is for me. But so far, Draft and Write Records from Inside Out Games, definitely enjoying that one. And then we have The Veil of Eternity. I had a chance to play The Veil of Eternity, and now I want to hunt down a copy. That's the problem. That's the problem. You keep playing games, you keep wanting new games. But Veil of Eternity, had a chance to play this one, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it did a really solid job of giving you a kind of open drafting puzzle, but an efficiency action optimization puzzle as well that I am looking forward to tabling again, and I want to get my hands on that one, so that's going to be the Veil of Eternity. It's got, basically, you're going to be laying out cards around a center board. You're going to be drafting those cards. You're going to be taking assorted actions, either taking those cards, playing those cards, selling those cards for their economy, and then trying to manage your tableau across 10 rounds, or until one player crosses the 60-point threshold. Overall, really solid combination of powers and abilities as you lay out your tableau. My own strategy involved getting a lot of points at the beginning and taking charge of leading the pack, and then immediately falling apart because I hadn't actually built up a tableau. Instead, I had just gotten points. So everyone else's tableau shot slowly past me, and I ended up with the fewest points possible, and that made me like the game more. I find winning games doesn't make me like games more. Losing games, if anything, makes me like it more, with the caveat that I have to see things I could do differently. If I lose a game and I don't have a good sense of how I played or what I could do differently, that's not satisfying, that's frustrating. But if I lose a game and I'm like, oh, I want to try different things next time, that's a good feeling. That's a very rewarding experience in games. So The Veil of Eternity, I'm looking forward to playing that one and hopefully eventually covering it on the channel. From there, we dive into the week in review, starting off with this past Saturday. This past Saturday, I reviewed Fish and Katz. It's a small little get cards game. It's basically more about the gimmick than anything else, but I still enjoy it. Gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I've had a lot of fun with that one, playing with both the kids and with adults, but it is very much a one-trick pony. It's not a game that I don't anticipate that one. For myself, for my own personal needs, I wouldn't keep it for more than a few months maybe. But for my kids, it will stick around until my kids are bored of it, and my kids all currently like it, so we'll see if they actually ever get bored of it. Then later on Saturday, we had a review for Courtisans. I've played that like 3 or 4 times since the review. I've still enjoying that one a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's quick playing. It's from Pandasaurus Games. They've been on a roll with me recently. A lot of their small box games have really delivered. I also just played Nard. I like that one too. Hope to cover that one at some point. But yeah, Courtisans is a lot of fun. I think it plays really quickly, plays really meanly, very satisfying. It's not the most strategic game ever, but it's a very satisfying, quick playing card game, and I think it's fun. I think it's a game to have in your collection. On Sunday I did my 2022 titles I most want to play. The games in 2022 that I haven't yet played and I want to table. I went through 15 of those. This is part of my series I do every year, starting with last year, so this is my second year doing it, where I take a look at a full year back, not last year, but a full year back, and just do a few lists around those games, how they've held up, what I want to play, what I still think is the best, all that kind of stuff. We'll have more of those coming in the series. I think we're doing 4 of them this year. I think last year I did 5. I think this year we'll be doing 4, because last year I think I also did biggest disappointments, but honestly, I think I already covered that. The problem is, well, yeah, I'll talk about it. The problem is, when I did this biggest disappointments last year, it worked. But then I also did biggest disappointments for 2023 or 2022 or whatever it is. And so since I've already done a video for that, like, reapproaching my best games makes sense because those change. My biggest disappointments are not going to change that much. Very, very little will change from those videos, so reapproaching that video is not as worthwhile. So I probably will not be doing a follow-up of that one. But the other 4 I'll probably be doing, which is best, most want to play, faded, and hidden gems. I think those are the best ones I'm going to be doing. The 4 videos I'm going to be doing, I'll probably be doing those 4 videos every single year for the prior year's titles as I kind of catch up. Keep things alive for more than the immediate year that they come out, the immediate month that they come out. On Monday we did 2 back or not to back, going through the usual crowdfunding campaigns. Shorter video than usual. There were not a ton of crowdfunding campaigns to go through. Tuesday I did a review of The Dead Keep. Keep in mind, as usual, that this is something that, while this review was not sponsored, I did do sponsored gameplay with Simon with this title, and please take into account that conflict and that bias. If that muddies the waters for you, I completely get it. Also, full transparency, if I was doing paid content around a game, I would not do a negative review next to it. Down the road when it comes in, by all means, but I would not be like, hey, here's a paycheck, also 2 out of 5. I just wouldn't. So I absolutely just be completely genuine, transparent, and all that. If I do paid content on a game, I will not be releasing negative content in that same time frame. It just muddies the waters, and it's complicated because on the one hand, you deserve the complete and total transparency. On the other hand, I feel like a jerk if I take a paycheck and then deliver a 2 out of 5 on unrequested feedback. I guess that's the caveat. If they requested a review, it would be different. But like, Simon didn't request a review. I was just like, I like this game enough and I want to talk about the pros and cons, so I'll go ahead and get into it. But absolutely muddies the waters, totally get that. But I guess the way between you and me, I'm being transparent about the fact that I'm willing to hold back, content to an extent. Hold back sounds wrong, but you know what I mean. Versus I wouldn't tell you I like a game if I didn't like the game. And again, you have to trust me and have watched the channel enough to know that that's genuine, and hopefully you know that by now. Later on Tuesday we had a review for The Perfect Wave. Speaking of negative reviews, I gave this one a 2.5 out of 5. I loved the idea of The Perfect Wave. I read the rules, I was all prepped to go, I was excited for it, and then I played it, and none of it worked the way I thought it would. I tried again, and none of it worked the way I thought it would. It was a frustrating game experience. I was pleased is the wrong term, but I was relieved to see a few commenters sharing that experience. Generally, whenever I'm negative on a game, I'm happy when others share that experience. Not because I want others to share that experience and have a bad experience, but because I'm going out on the internet and I'm being like, hey, I don't like this game, and that can affect a game, it can affect sales, it can affect anyone, and those things, it is nicer to know that I wasn't alone in my experience, because while it's still, even if I was alone, it still reflects my honest experience. It's still like, I don't know. If I'm going to not like something, I'd rather it not just be me. Like, if I'm going to hurt the sale of something, it should be because the thing wasn't as good, not because I had a bad game, if that makes sense. Anyways, later on Tuesday, we had a review for Dominion. I love Dominion. It's been in my collection for years. I got rid of it and I hunted it all down to get it back again. Then I bought the entire 2nd edition. Now I have the app. I love Dominion in all its forms. I highly recommend it. I think it's fantastic, and you can watch that review if you want to see more. Later on Wednesday we had 10 games where the art got worse. This is specifically a conversation around 2nd editions where they made a 2nd edition and then it got worse. It looked worse. It's not as good. Most of my picks seem to be universally agreed on, universally strong. Most of my picks seem to be generally agreed on in the comments. Like, almost every game I picked, there were a lot of people like, yes, this is the first game I thought of, stuff like that. There are a few great picks as well. I don't remember any of them offhand, but there were a few other great picks. Although I did see someone comment on Claustrophobia, and I think the newer Claustrophobia looks better, but that's obviously person to person. Then again, a few people did. The one pick I had that people did disagree with, there were a lot of people who liked the new Pandemic better than the old Pandemic, and I respect that. I respect that. But what were the other ones? There were some really good ones in the comments that I was like, that's a great pick, and I didn't think of that. I don't know. Check out the comments in the video. There were definitely a bunch of good picks that I was like, yes, I agree, and didn't think of that game. But anyways, games sometimes get worse when they reprint the art, when they reprint the game. On Thursday we had 6 more small box reviews. This is a regular series on the channel where I go over, 6 small box reviews where I talk about a bunch of different games and give you my short, quick thoughts on those games. I did more of those. I did Dice Veggies and Sale and some other games in this particular video. Later on Thursday, we did the weekly live show. This was a Q&A. It was supposed to be a game show this week, but things got busy and crazy, and so the game show was pushed off again. This time it's again a weekly live, just a little on me, just getting on the camera, talking about anything from DC United to whatever questions you want to go over. And then lastly on Thursday, we had a Bad Karmas and the Curse of the Zodiacs unboxing. This is a giant box. It's a little insane. I am looking forward to diving into this one. I do not imagine it's a keeper for me. I like the game, but it is app-driven, and that's something that has taken me out of experiences to a degree, but I do want to go through it. I do want to go through at least a few of the bosses and honestly see how many. Maybe I want to go through a lot. We'll find out. But the Bad Karmas and the Curse of the Zodiac, that's overall, it's a game I enjoyed playing in the prototype phase, and I'm happy to have the final copy and see how it plays out. Although getting rid of it's interesting. Do I keep the Taboo part? That's an interesting conversation, because the Taboo is like a console. And I do want to try the other. Oh, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. On Friday we had games leaving the collection for the month of April. A bunch of games leaving the collection, as they usually do every single month, and that's it. That's it. A bunch of games left the collection. It was a smaller video than usual. I'm having a harder time getting rid of games. It's getting tough out there. I'm looking at my collection right now. It's getting tough. It's getting very tough. Anyways, that's as far as games leaving the collection, which brings us to today. Today we'll have a few things going up. We're gonna have a review for Planted going up, a review for Can't Stop going up. Next week we'll have a few things going up. We'll have an Adam vlog. This is the Adam 2024 event. The Eagle Griffin Games, Inside Up Games, and Queen Games host an event for a variety of content creators, and they showcase their new coming out games, all that stuff. So I'll have a vlog going over that. I'll also have a conversation of IP titles versus non-IP titles, and talking about which one I think is better. Like when you have something similar, you have something that's kind of giving you the idea of the IP, but which one did I prefer when that happened? It's always, I think the point of the video is I prefer the non-IP. So I prefer the non-IP. And then today, no, that's not today, then games on the table. Games on the table, as usual, these are some of the games I hope to be diving into. First of all, we have some of these over here. Had a chance to play Fit to Print after the Adam 2024, and I want to dive into it solo. I don't think this is a game that says my collection. I like Fit to Print, but I like their other games more, and so I think I want to try this a little bit more solo and see if it works for me, and if not, time to get rid of it. But I am curious, because their solo modes have been very solid. Speaking of which, I want to play some more Verdant solo, because I like Verdant a lot, and it's the one I've played the fewest amount in terms of solo plays, so I want to dive into that one and get a few more plays into my belt and see how it works for me. And then over here on this side of the table, we have a few more Queen games. These are some that I've played, again, at Adam 2024. We have Vienna, which I've played through the basic mode, the advanced mode, and I want to get another play in, and so I can actually sit down and review it. And then we have Marrakesh, Camels, and Nomads, which it's a expansion to Marrakesh. I love Marrakesh. I've already reviewed the game on the channel. I've played through Camels and Nomads. I want to play through a few more of the modules and get some few more, I want to get some more thoughts and opinions in before I cover it on the channel. And that's basically what we have. Until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.